Hi everybody, today we're looking at the data sheets that you're going to need to do and turn in for Lab 12. Look at your lab manual, page 103. Top of page 103, you need to read the exercise behavior prediction questionnaire. You need to read the instructions and do that. Same with task self-efficacy on page 103. Complete that questionnaire. On page 104 is scheduling self-efficacy. You need to complete that questionnaire. Page 105 is exercise outcome. Please complete that one as well. Those are all self-explanatory. You're going to read the directions and do those. On page 106, this will take a little more explanation. This is your 7-day recall, 7-day physical activity recall. If you look at the worksheet, page 106, it explains sleep, morning, afternoon, and evening. It also explains rounding of times. So anything that you do for 10 to 22 minutes is going to be 0.25 hours. 22 to 37 minutes is 0.5 hours, and so on and so forth. You are going to recall your last 7 days activity, and you're going to break it down into morning, afternoon, and evening. And during those time periods, you're going to look at moderate, hard, and very hard activities. You're going to assign a time to those. If you look at page 108, that gives you examples of moderate, hard, and very hard activities. So if you did lifting or carrying light objects up to 5 pounds, or painting the outside of a house, that would be considered moderate. If you did something similar to those, or any of the other activities listed under moderate, you're going to count that as moderate activity. Do the same thing with hard and very hard. Look at the examples given on page 108. If you actually did those examples, you know what category it will fall into. If you did something similar to one of the things in the hard category, you'll consider that hard. Same with very hard. So look back at page 106. When you do this, most of your time throughout the day is not going to be spent doing moderate, hard, and very hard activity unless you're in a manual labor job. So you're going to go through, put those times on day 1 during the morning, afternoon, and evening that you were participating in moderate, hard, or very hard activities. You'll do that for all 7 days. If you look down below at the totals, you're going to total day 1 moderate activity, day 1 hard activity, very hard, and sleep. You'll do the same for days 2 through 7. So you have 7 days of totals. If you look down at the bottom, it says total hours per week of moderate, hard, very hard, and sleep. You're going to take that total number and divide it by 7. And by dividing it by 7, it's going to give you your average hours per day of moderate, hard, very hard, and sleep. So you're going to have your average hours per day. Look right below average hours per day. It says light activity, and it gives you an equation for light activity because most of the time you're awake, you're not participating in moderate, hard, or very hard work. You are doing light activity. So how do you calculate that? 24 minus, and now you're going to add your moderate, hard, very hard, and sleep. Those average numbers that you just calculated with the asterisk by them, those are going to go in there for moderate, hard, very hard, and sleep. You'll take that total number, subtract it from 24. That will give you your average light activity. Now, once you have that done, you're going to look at page 109. On page 109, there's some typos, so I need to make those corrections. On 109, sleep, under MET value, sleep should have 1.0, which it does. Light activity, instead of 1.0, it should be 1.5. Moderate activity, instead of 1.0, should be 4. Hard activity should be 6, and very hard activity should be 10. So your MET values should read as follows. 1.0, underneath that 1.5, underneath that 4, then 6, then 10. All you're going to do is take your raw data, your average hours of sleep, average hours of light activity, average hours of moderate activity, average hours of hard, and average hours of very hard activity, multiply them across, and you're going to get totals, and that's going to give you kcals per kilogram per day for each of those activities. You're going to add them all up, and you'll get a total kcals per kilogram per day for your 24-hour period. You need to turn that in. So you're going to turn in or send in and scan into me pages 109, 106, 105, 104, and 103. So you also look under assignments on 12. I might have this written out again, but that's what you're going to need to send in to me.